Last week, I got to play Halo Infinite's technical preview and I loved it. Even though there's lots of bugs, I don't think there's anything serious to worry about. The gameplay was superb. In this video, I'm going to be a bit nitpicky talking about Halo Infinite's visual communication. Before we start, big shout out to Carlos who sent me a bunch of clips for this video, as well as my good friend Dan for helping me record some footage. Also, although I'm not a super expert, I do have a first class BA honours in digital graphics and wrote my dissertation on functionalism in design and UI UX. I hope you find this video informational. Let's begin. Let's start by looking back a little. Just a disclaimer, we are looking only at the mainline games. I know ODST does things differently. The first Halo game's HUD has 4 elements: ammo and grenades, shields and health, crosshair, and radar. These are to provide the player with information during gameplay. How many bullets do I have left? Should I look for a health kit? Are there enemies nearby? If I shoot this elite, will I land a headshot? Without these HUD elements, we wouldn't know any of these things. Halo CE does a great job at giving this information, but it could be improved upon. Halo 2 mixed up the HUD a little, moving your ammo to the top right, but leaving your grenades on the left. The health bar mechanic was dropped, and the shields were moved on top of the radar. This was a nice improvement, especially since when you dual wield, your grenades go away and get swapped for the ammo counter for your left-hand gun. This makes perfect sense. Your left gun uses the left counter, and your right gun uses the right counter. Halo 3 is where things stabilized. Most of the HUD stayed the same, but the shields were moved to the top middle of the screen, where they would stay for every subsequent game. This works extremely well since the viewer's focus can easily shift from the top middle to the crosshair much quicker than from corner to corner. This also gives more screen real estate to make the shield bar bigger. This is exactly how the HUD would stay for Halo Reach, Halo 4 and Halo 5, with each game making slight adjustments such as health bars and armor abilities, etc. So why does the HUD look like this? That's easy: information. Each part of your HUD tells you a different piece of information. It is essentially muscle memory for your eyes. How much health am I on? Top. How many bullets do I have left? Right. Do I have a plasma grenade to land a stick on Dan? Left. And yes. Before I go any further, I don't dislike Halo Infinite's HUD. I think it's very nice looking and I'm a massive fan of the style. It's sleek and there's a custom slider in the menu so that you can have it more or less opaque. Customization is something Halo Infinite seems to focus on a lot, so maybe we might be able to move the HUD elements around when the game releases. My main issue with Halo Infinite's HUD is the information gathering aspect. In a gunfight, you are unconsciously making choices to gather information which will affect the outcome. Let's say mid-fight you are losing. Your brain wants to check how much health you have left. Without even thinking, your eye has darted to the top of your screen to gather that information. Now that you know how much health you have compared to your opponent, you're able to make the choice to back out and recover. With the Infinite HUD, a lot of that information is clustered together. Your ammo counter, grenade counter, equipment counter, and secondary weapon icon is all in the same corner of your screen, making it harder for your eye to acquire that information in one go. Also, the visual ammo counter has been swapped for a number counter. I feel like this negatively affects the player's thought process. The visual ammo counter from previous games is effectively a live graph. Why do humans use graphs? To make information easier to digest. This goes hand in hand with a nice design to make the information gathering even smoother. That is pretty much the only issue I have with the HUD, but I feel that fixing it would have a huge effect on the game by the time of launch. Here is the Halo Infinite HUD with some elements from Halo 3's HUD. This is a mock-up, so I apologise for the low image quality. Notice how none of the information is too clustered and uses the screen's real estate effectively. I'm not a game dev, however I don't think that a change like this would be that difficult to implement, but would make the flow of the game feel much better. Lastly, I have one final gripe. As previously established, information gathering is critical to playing almost any game, and that isn't limited to the HUD. In Halo, you have always been able to estimate how much health an enemy has by the effects their shields emit. Take a look at this.
Gain the lead. Gain the lead. First strike. Gain the lead. First strike.
If we look at Halo Reach for a second, the shield effects are extremely easy to tell exactly how far they are from breaking, with Halo 4 following suit. If we take a look at this clip now, kindly provided by Carlos, we can see that the shield's breaking isn't that visually obvious. In this situation, it isn't that important, since Halo players generally know the time to kill. However, if you came across an already damaged player, it would be hard to distinguish them from a full shields player. This becomes problematic when it comes to picking your targets. This is likely the case because of the new friend or foe system. 343 probably wanted the shield's colour to match the colour of the outline around the enemy, in this case red. Personally, I feel a yellow/orange shield effect can coexist with a defined outline, but the outline needs to be more clear. Overwatch is a great example of a clear friend and foe outlines. The red line surrounding an enemy, for the most part, doesn't mess with the colours of the character. I feel like this could easily be applied to Halo Infinite. I have heard some people saying that we should go back to using the red versus blue system instead of this system. However, I strongly disagree. I feel like, if done right, this system would work so much better and is much better for player expression. In conclusion, Halo Infinite has some bugs and issues, but the preview we got was incredibly fun to play, and in my book something I cannot wait to sink more hours into. Again, thank you to Carlos and Dan for helping me with the clips. They're both in the description of this video. Well done, you made it to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment telling me out of 10 how hyped you are for Infinite. Yes, you are allowed to go over 10 out of 10. Have a nice day.